Hey, hardy hearties, and welcome to another redstone tutorial. This is the item sender, the smelting system, and the sorting system tutorial. And you may be wondering why I am doing 3 tutorials in one video. That is because both the smelting system and sorting system are based around this sending system. Now that is because we are using these modules, these sender modules. There are 2 different designs which both have pros and cons. One is fast and compact, but it is semi-automatic. The other is a little bit slower, a little bit more advanced, but it is fully automated. And these can be put in these designs, any of them can be put into the designs, and that is why I am doing this in one video. So let's start with the sending system, since that is the core in the other designs as well. Now we are going to start with the fast and compact system. The retrieval module is the same in both the simple and advanced case. But the difference is the sending mechanic. Now, as you can see, this is pretty simple. There is no hidden redstone. This is a powered rail, a button, a detector rail, and a comparator. And that is all there is to it. And let me show you how it works. We put in our items. The limit to how many items you can put in is a chest of items, and that is the same case for the advanced system. So let's send this on its way. It will empty out in that chest, and once it is done it will return. And there you can see it's done. It is now empty and we can be on our merry way. And you can see that the items are here. And this is how the retrieval system works. It just checks the hopper and inverts the signal. Now the better way to use this system is actually in the item smelter and the sorting system. In this case you could actually just remove these and send the minecarts away, and it will return once it is empty. But this is something that is good to know. Let's take away this minecart so you can see how it looks, and that is the tutorial for the simple system. And what I forgot to mention is the reason behind the detector rail and the comparator facing into this block. And in this particular case there is no reason to have it here, as I might have mentioned. But when we get to the entire systems of auto sorting and item smelting, this is needed for when the cart returns with items inside and it is not ready to stay and say it is ready. It actually needs to output more item. What happens then is when it comes over this detector rail, it reads the input of the minecart, and if there is any items left inside, it will turn on the powered rail and send the item or the carts back. Now this is the advanced system. Let me just show you how this works as well. We will just take 8 items for this. All you do is put the items in the chest and it automatically go away once it is done and return once it has emptied out. Now it is important to know that you do not overfill this. You can fill the entire chest, but if you would fill a double chest, the minecart would never leave, which is a flaw with the design, which can be fixed, but it requires quite a bit of more redstoning. So let's go over what this system does. Now this comparator reads the hopper's item count, and the hopper is merely putting items into this storage minecart. Now it turns off this torch for as long as there are items in this hopper. Now the hopper or the items will only flow through. So when there are items going into the minecart, this torch is off. Remember that. So this is a monostable circuit. It's pretty simple. It's just a piston facing upward and then a repeater on 4 ticks delay, and this redstone dust points into this block and then goes over to this block, powering the powered rail below the storage minecart. And then this detector rail and this comparator is the same as the design before. Now what happens here is when items start flowing through, let's put in a few items, you can see that this has turned off. We are now reading that items are flowing through and going into the storage minecart. When this torch turns on again, meaning that there are no longer items flowing through the hopper, which will be very soon, this monostable will trigger turning on this powered rail. And that is all the system, or all that is in the system. There is no hidden redstone below or anything, and that is why you cannot put more than a chest full of items, because the items won't be able to get into the minecart, and the hopper will no longer become empty, meaning that the system won't trigger and the storage cart will never leave. Now let's quickly tell you about the unloading station, which is pretty simple. It's a one wide design. It is not stackable because of the redstone dust. It is not intended to be either way. You can make it stackable if you want to by putting a repeater and a block like that, if you really need it to be tileable. And I don't. Now what happens is when the storage cart comes and gets just above this hopper, it turns on, meaning that this redstone turns off a tick later. And since we can unload everything, because this is a large chest and that is a small chest, we can unload everything, and once this is empty again, it will send the minecart back. So if we don't have enough space, it will not leave until we make space. And that's the tutorial for this part. And welcome to the SuperSmelter part of the tutorial. Now, this may look nothing like what I just showed you, but it is exactly the same. These are the simple item senders with the buttons, and that is because I prefer those. What happens when you put in the hopper and the entire advanced system is when you fill the chest up, it will take some time before the cart actually leaves, and I don't like that myself. You might like it, but I think the purpose of this is to smelt items really, really, really fast, and I don't want to wait on hoppers. So we have 2 storage minecarts and 1 regular chest, which I have already done some testing, so this has already been in use. Now this on the right is for smelting items. The one on the left is for fuel. Now you can put different kinds of fuel. You can put in 8 coal and a stack of what are they called, the blaze rods, and then some charcoal and then some logs. It doesn't matter, it will sort it out. And what it does, it is actually just going over hoppers, and you don't have to build it at any specific size at all. You can have 1 furnace, you can have 4, 3, 5, 17, 18, 10, or 64 as I have here. So this is an array of 64 furnaces going to the back and then to the front. Now when you get here, you could as well turn around and make it go back and forth again with this stack of furnaces. So you can expand this however much you want. Now let's put in 4 stacks of cobblestone and send it on its way. Now it will perfectly distribute all of the cobblestone between the furnaces, and these are required so it doesn't put in 2 in this hopper. Now if you look here, you can see there are 2 stacks because it's gone over every hopper twice, and we have 64 hoppers, meaning that it's 2 stacks. And when it gets back, it will be empty and it will stay. So let's take a look at that. And there, it's empty. And as you saw, it had items left the first time it came back, meaning that this gave out a signal and turned it on. You don't have to put in specific stacks amounts. If it has 1 item left, it will go back either way. It doesn't matter how many. Now let's see how many we have. Oh, we have already smelted 2 and 3 stacks. And as you can see, this is going very fast. Probably all of the stacks are already done, and the only problem is that the hoppers are actually too slow to handle the output of this monstrosity. Now all those 4 stacks are done. That went very, very quickly. And to use this setup efficiently, you would actually need to put in 8 stacks at a time. So you use a full charcoal or coal if you are using that for fuel. But otherwise you can just putting in 1 stack is not the way this is meant to be used. It's meant to be used to put in just a completely mass amount of items, and it doesn't have to be the same. You can put in a stack of iron, a stack and a half of gold, and cobblestone and sand and whatever you need to smelt in random amounts. It doesn't matter, it will handle it. Now we've already gone through how to make these, and now I will show you how to combine and set this up. Now the first thing you will do is decide where your output chest will be, and I've decided that I like this place. Now let's grab a hopper and we will go 2 sets back. Actually, I will only go with 1 row of furnaces. So go 2, 3 back and put down your first furnace. Now we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 furnaces. That seems like a good amount, and all you're going to do is place the hoppers facing into the next one. And if you're wondering how to put hoppers on a furnace or a furnace on a furnace, you just sneak. If you didn't know, let's see if I can do this. You just sneak and place. If you don't sneak, you will open the inventory, and you probably don't want to do that. Now the next thing you will do is put hoppers on the back and hoppers on the top. So if you haven't figured it out already, you will need 3 times as many hoppers as you will need furnaces, and then add 2. Now I have taken the liberty of adding 8 more furnaces. So we have a total of 16 because there is something I need to demonstrate. But first of all, let's finish this loading part, or actually let's start it first. You're going to build down from the hoppers down to regular level by putting 2 powered rail like that and power them. Then you will put a detector rail on the last one, 2 regular and a powered rail, 2 blocks on the sides like that, and then you have built yourself the sender system. And of course you can add your button because you will need that as well. Now what you will need to know is when placing the rails to divide it perfectly, you will need to go 8 regular rails, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you have to add a new powered rail so it will keep its speed. And then you will go to the end, go out 2 blocks, adding 2 powered rail and powering those so it will keep its speed, and you can put a block above that and a lever right there. So now it's pretty simple to add the next row. So you just follow around, place the powered rail where the block is, continue on and do the same thing on this side, powering that, putting 2 powered rail. And if you want to wrap around like I've done over here, I can just quickly show you and make it daytime. I just did this, powered the rail and made it go around. The same down here, just make it go around to the other side, and you can mirror the furnace and hopper setup you have there. Make those also go into the back and go into here, the hoppers in the bottom I mean. Now to add the other part you will actually need stairs or half slabs or any other kind of transparent blocks, and we will go out like this and add our 2 stairs above the chests so we can open the chests while still putting down rails right here. So we will actually do pretty much exactly the same thing as we did on the other side. Let me get back my lever. Power it there is not a good idea because you will power this hopper, meaning you will get no items back. So place it there and power it, and then you know what to do. Build the sender station, and you can put your button in as well. And since we already built that, we are done. Now all you need to do is grab some minecarts with chests. Let's grab a stack of coal and a stack of cobblestone. Put the carts down, put the coal in, put the cobblestone in. Now we only have 16, so both of them will return. We have 16 chests, so they will return, and they will have half a stack left because they are going over and back, leaving half a stack of items. And you can see all the furnaces are running at full speed, and after 10 seconds, approximately 10 seconds, a little bit more than that, you will start getting your items in the chests. And it seems like I've done something wrong. Yes, I have. Do not place this torch or this lever right here. You are actually powering the hopper behind it. So you can just place a torch like this, or simplifying it by placing a block right here and putting a lever on it. So you're now powering both of those, but you're not powering any hoppers. We should see items getting in here at a pretty decent rate, at the hopper speed rate. And that is how you build this system. And if you want to know how to build these, it's pretty simple. You just do the same as you did on that side. You go back to where you started, and then you'll have to build up, put a block above like this. You can probably figure it out yourself. Just go 2 blocks so they won't turn around when they are on this block, because they will place down or put down too many items into this hopper. And that is how this super smelter works. And let's go on to the item sorting system. Now this is the auto sorting system, and there have been a lot of them around, and since we are in the pre-release, this should be the final one. This is a bit more resource friendly than the ones that have hoppers going straight across, which I'm not really sure if they are stable right now or if they will be ever. But this one is pretty stable. It's actually 100% stable. It always does what I want. And it is pretty resource friendly as well. It only uses 2 hoppers per item, 2 redstone dust, a comparator, a repeater, and a torch, and 1 rail. That is per item. And then you have one of these starting system, the item sender, on your entire system. Now let's actually put in some items and start the system by pushing the button. You can of course use the more advanced one if you like to just put in your items. Now this has a pretty nice feature that if you look on the redstone, you can see that every time it goes past, all of the redstone turns on. So back and forth. And that means every time the cart goes by, it puts down 1 of every item. Now you can see this is how you set it up. You use an item that isn't in the system or a named item. And let me give you a slice show. So this is a 1 wide tileable design. It is the standard item sorting system. I cannot tell you who invented it first or who gave out it first. But yeah, it's the standard item sorting system. So it's pretty simple. You put 2 hoppers above each other, the one on the top facing to the front or the back, so it's not putting items anywhere. It cannot be facing a inventory, so you cannot face it down or into the hoppers next to them. It has to face a place that doesn't have an inventory, like right now it is facing this block, and this has no inventory because it's an air block, so it cannot put them there. And we have 22 items, and once it becomes 23, this lights up, meaning it sends the items through to the chest. And as you can see, all the items were here. And this is all you need to do. You can add however many you want, and you can sling it around and put them on each side. As long as you give the cart enough speed to not stop, it doesn't matter. This 8 rails to 1 powered rail ratio isn't important to this. You can actually have 16 regular rails and then the next powered rail before you put the next power rail. You can have 16 regular rail, but I would recommend going 8 blocks and then putting down the next powered rail, so you are sure it will not stop anywhere. You can of course also wrap this around so it will go back and be mirrored, and you can have chests on both sides of a room, and this has a great deal of flexibility. And of course you don't have to put this right here. You can put it down on the floor and then make it go up to the place you want. So you can place this anywhere as long as you make sure that it have enough momentum to reach the place right here where it starts. So I hope this sufficed as a tutorial. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's a 1 wide design, so this should be all you need for the actual tutorial. And I have already showed you the item sender. So I hope you enjoyed this 3-in-1 tutorial. I hope you had a great time, and I will see you all the next time.